I opened my emergency savings account and instantly felt sick because the money I had spent years building was almost gone. Not transferred, not frozen, gone. And the worst part? Nobody hacked my account. Nobody stole my password. The person who took it was someone I trusted completely. My own sister. My name is Lauren Mitchell. I'm 32 years old, living in Phoenix, Arizona. I work a regular office job, nothing glamorous, but I've always been careful with money because growing up, we never really had financial stability. Unexpected bills always became emergencies, and watching that as a kid taught me something early. If you don't protect yourself financially, life gets scary very fast. So, over the years, I built an emergency fund. Slowly. Extra shifts, skipped vacations, late nights working overtime. Every dollar in that account represented security, peace of mind, and honestly, control. Because when life falls apart, money gives you options. That account had just over $28,000 in it. Not retirement money, but enough to protect me if something serious happened. And then, one morning, everything changed. I logged into my banking app before work, just checking my balance like usual. But the number on the screen didn't look real. At first, I honestly thought the app was glitching because there was no way my savings could disappear overnight. I refreshed it. Again. Then again. Same balance. Almost empty. That's when my heart started racing. I immediately opened the transaction history, and that's where the panic got worse. Multiple withdrawals, large amounts, spread across several weeks, which meant this didn't just happen once. Someone had been draining my savings slowly without me noticing, and every withdrawal showed something I recognized. The device linked to the transactions. Rachel's phone. My sister. I just stared at the screen for a few seconds, hoping there was another explanation, because even after seeing it, part of me still didn't want to believe it. But then all the small warning signs started replaying in my head. The expensive shopping bags, the sudden weekend trips, the constant excuses about being stressed financially. And suddenly, everything started making sense. I grabbed my phone and called her immediately. No answer. I called again, straight to voicemail. And that's when the panic turned into something worse. Realization. I built that emergency fund to protect myself from life falling apart. I never imagined my own sister would be the reason it did. I kept calling her for almost an hour. Texting, calling, refreshing my messages. Nothing. And with every minute that passed, my mind went to darker places. Not because I thought she was hurt, but because deep down, I already knew what this looked like. Finally, late that night, she called me back. And the second I heard her voice, I knew something was wrong. Not panic, not confusion, guilt. "Lauren, I can explain," she said quietly. That sentence alone told me everything. Because innocent people don't start conversations like that. I asked her directly, "Did you take money from my savings account?" There was silence for a couple seconds. And then, yes. Just one word, but it felt like getting hit in the chest. Because no matter how suspicious I already was, part of me still hoped the answer would be no. I asked her how long it had been happening. "A couple months," she admitted. A couple months, which meant while I was working overtime, trying to build security for myself, she was quietly draining it, without telling me, without asking, and somehow that part hurt even more than the money itself. I asked her how she even got access to my account. That's when I remembered something I hadn't thought about in years. Back when we were younger, I had logged into my banking app on her phone once. Apparently, the login information stayed saved, and she used it. At first, she tried to justify it. I was going to pay it back. I just needed help. I thought you wouldn't notice right away. Every explanation made it worse. Because this wasn't one desperate decision, it was repeated, planned, intentional. And the more she talked, the more I realized something painful. She never truly believed she was doing something wrong. Not completely, because in her mind, family meant access. Access to help, access to support, access without permission. And that realization scared me, because trust only works when both people respect boundaries. I asked her where the money went. That's when the truth really started coming out. Credit card payments, shopping debt, trips she couldn't afford, online purchases, things she wanted but never had the money for. And suddenly, all those Instagram photos, all those expensive dinners, all those little treats she joked about made perfect sense. She wasn't financially stable. She was financially drowning, and my savings account became her lifeboat without my permission. I remember pacing around my apartment while she talked, trying to calm down enough to think clearly, because this wasn't just emotional anymore. This was serious. That money wasn't extra cash sitting around. It was my emergency fund, the thing protecting me if something went wrong. And now, because of her, I had almost nothing left. I asked her the question that mattered most. How much is actually left? There was another pause. Then she quietly said, almost none of it. And honestly, that hurt more than the confession itself. Because in that moment, I realized this wasn't something she could quickly fix. The money was gone. My sister didn't just take my emergency savings. She spent the safety net I spent years building for my future. After that call, I barely slept. I just kept replaying everything in my head. The withdrawals, the lies, and the fact that someone I trusted that deeply had crossed a line I never imagined possible. Because this wasn't just about money anymore. It was about safety, trust, boundaries. And suddenly, all three felt broken. The next morning, I logged back into my account, hoping maybe I misunderstood something. Maybe there was still more money left than I thought. But there wasn't. The balance sitting there felt almost unreal. Years of discipline, reduced to almost nothing. And the hardest part? Knowing it didn't happen all at once. It happened slowly, over weeks, while I trusted her completely. That thought stayed with me more than anything else. Because betrayal doesn't always happen loudly. Sometimes it happens quietly, a little at a time, until one day you finally see the damage. Rachel kept texting me after that. Long, emotional messages, apologies, promises to pay me back, excuses about stress and bad decisions. And honestly, part of me felt bad for her because I knew she was struggling. I knew she wasn't trying to become some terrible person. But understanding someone's problems doesn't erase what they did. And that was the part I had to finally accept. For the first time in my life, I stopped thinking like a sister and started thinking like someone who needed to protect yourself. I changed every password connected to my finances, removed old devices from my banking apps, set up extra security alerts, and most importantly, I stopped ignoring boundaries just because someone was family. That lesson hurt the most, because growing up, we were taught that family means unconditional trust, but adulthood teaches you something different. Trust without limits can become vulnerability, and vulnerability without protection can become damage, financially, emotionally, mentally. The truth is, losing the money hurt a lot, because rebuilding savings takes time, especially when you're starting over unexpectedly. But what hurt even more was losing the version of my sister I thought I knew. Because after something like this, relationships change. Even if forgiveness happens someday, things don't go back to the way they were before. And I think that's the part people don't talk about enough. Financial betrayal doesn't just damage accounts, it damages trust, comfort, security, the way you see someone forever. And if there's one thing I would tell anyone watching this, it's this. Helping family is one thing, but protecting yourself matters too, because boundaries are not selfish. They're necessary, especially when money is involved. I didn't just lose my emergency savings. I learned that even family can cross boundaries you never expected them to. Should family ever have access to your personal savings account? Or should financial boundaries always stay strict, no matter who it is? What would you do in this situation? Leave a comment, like if this story felt real, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to Dollar Confessions for real money stories.